weak, unformed souls, and in whom the love of the world is not yet dead, fall easily victim before temptations of the flesh. A still smoking candle is readily relit, and the least whisper of worldly concupiscence suffices, in such souls, to set the passions alight. The strong are assailed by temptations of greater force and violence. Whispering breezes will not move them, and so the only hope of uprooting them is by temptations rough as a high wind and strong. And that's why you see people, if they don't get rid of those phones, like out in the world, it's an absolute and utter error for confessors to say, try harder. You fall with these horrible sins, try harder. Just try harder next time. What does that mean? That means you're going to fall again. Just try to do your best this time. It doesn't make any sense. For mortal sins, you should radically eliminate those occasions that lead to them. And in the world, they don't identify what those radical problems are. Well, you keep sinning with a phone. Just think how ridiculous that is. You keep sinning with a phone. You would never, you all grew up with these stupid things. But to say that you sinned with a phone, when I was a little kid, the thing still turned around in circles. My parents had like a phone from the 50s, and the thing still spun around. You had to wait for it to go all the way back, and you had to hit the next one and went all the way back again, and you forget what you were dialing. Then you had to start over again. You had to hang the thing. They had one of these things, like it looked like a little trumpet, and then it had like a little arm on it, and you hung it. It was a decorative thing. But still, it was weird. You had to pick this thing up and hold it here and talk into this little, it looked like a duck's mouth. And then you had to spin this thing around all the way until you got the number done. And if you messed up, you had to hang it up and start over again, because you just go all the way back around again, right? Can you imagine sinning with that thing? Maybe through anger, lack of impatience, but not impurity. And now you say you sin with these phones. It's absolutely, utterly insane, and no one tells you to get rid of them. You're not going to do it anyways. And that's what it is. It's a little whisper, because the thing shakes again, and then there you go. It's shook, and you look something up, and you fall. Just like that. Whammo. Who cares? Can't get over it because I'm not going to get rid of the phone. Can't get over it because I'm not going to stop using the computer. Can't get over it because I'm not going to stop watching that thing on Netflix. There you go. That gentleman that came to me who was probably pushing 70 and would fall once a week with his computer. Think about that. You've fallen with a computer. It's ridiculous to say the thing out loud. You're falling with a computer. Okay, there you go. So I said, get rid of the computer. Conversation ended right there. He wants some magical remedy, or to keep hearing, try harder. Just try harder. Make sure that he goes to confession, go back home, fall again, and be that way for the rest of the week. Go to confession, recidivist, right? It's only been going on for 30 years. Maybe he's not really a recidivist. No, that's a recidivist. Someone that just keeps habitually falling into the same crimes, confessing it, knowing he's just going to do it again. Why? He doesn't remove any of the whispers. He builds up no resistance or tolerance whatsoever against the things that will make him fall. He just knows. He feels bad about it for a couple of minutes, goes to confession, and then goes home and does it again. There you go. It's not his fault. It's just he's a victim. He's a victim. At least that's what people try to convince themselves of, right? Good men, because they are pure, hate unclean sins. Look at that. Good men, because they are pure, hate unclean sins. And because they are manly, oh, you can't say this stuff anymore. Because they are manly, they put up a vigorous resistance to evil. Once they recognize it, no matter under what form, Satan then will approach disguised as a good angel, for he knows the welcome awaiting such trusty messengers of God, such bearers of fair tidings and wise counsel. Except, says the canticle, actually St. Bernard talking about the canticles, except under the guise of good, The good are not deceived. The more effectively to secure his purpose, the devil begins with suggestions that are wholly good. Then a mixture of evil is introduced. Then positive evil, but somehow still cloaked as good. Still, finally, when he holds his victim securely trapped, he throws off all concealment, lifts his poisonous head, and enfolds them utterly in sin. That's by breaking them and making them realize that there's nothing, that they feel trapped at that point, and so they go ahead and just consent. The scorpion is a harmless enough looking creature, but has a deadly poison in its tail.